It's been back-to-back 3-0 sweeps here on the Morning Wager. We look to make it 9 straight with 3 more winners for you in Major League Baseball on Monday. No pressure, Mark Zinno. In fact, you are feeling so good on this fine Monday that you are willing to bet on a team with an undecided starting pitcher.
Yes. Look, I am willing to take our 6-0 streak and throw it like a lawn dart right into the ground, into the soul of people watching this show. Because
Now
what I'm going
stop
to do today is what Bryan Power would strongly advise against. So the Minnesota Twins are taking on the Chicago White Sox. And the Twins have been one of the hottest teams in baseball over the course of the last month plus since June 1st. We'll get to them in just a moment. But these two teams have played 7 times this year. Minnesota Twins have won all 7 games against them. So they have not lost to the White Sox yet this season. So no, we're not going to back the Twins directly. Why? Because their starter is some guy named Undecided. So with that, we're not going to back the Minnesota Twins from a pitching standpoint, but we will back the Minnesota Twins bats against the Chicago White Sox, who are starting Chris Flexen, who is what some people would refer to as terrible when it comes to starting pitching. An ERA above 5, a whip near 1.4. He's given up 15 bombs on the season. This is a starter here who has not done his job as a starter. And oh, by the way, if you just want to go back and look at his last start against the Cleveland Guardians last week, he gave up 6 runs in 6 innings. So there is that. All things said, this looks like an easy setup. What makes this even worse, Bryan Power, to play, even worse when I tell you, is that remember when I just mentioned a moment ago that the Minnesota Twins have won all 7 games? They have scored less than 6 runs just once in those 7 games. 7-0, 6-5, 6-3, 6-3, 6-5, 10-5, and they squeezed in a little 3-2 victory there back in April. So what are we going to do? Let's just take the Minnesota Twins with an inflated line at 5.5 and take their team total over and watch this blow up horribly in all of our faces here. We get a little plus money. Minnesota Twins over 5.5, which is a terrible number to play. And I'm sitting here advising all of you to do it because, well, the Chicago White Sox suck. Chris Flexen sucks. Their bullpen sucks. And the Minnesota Twins, let's add this to the fire. Oh, by the way, guess who scored the most runs in Major League Baseball since June 1st? You guessed it, the Minnesota Twins. Guess who has the most hits since June 1st? The Minnesota Twins, which makes them have the highest batting average since June 1st and the most RBIs since June 1st. Hell, they have the most hit by pitch since June 1st, the Minnesota Twins in Major League Baseball. And they're facing one of the worst pitchers and one of the worst bullpens in all of baseball. So clearly this means they will win tonight 3-2, and we will all look foolish. Or at least I will.
Stop it. All right, I actually really like that play. Smash that like button out there if you agree with Zinno on Twins team total over. And Mark,
just
definitely know.
Keep the time. Leave a comment. Zinno, you're a moron with an exclamation point, and I will thumbs up all.
That is not what we're going to do here. That is not what they should do because I know for a fact there is definitely one person who agrees with you on Twins team total over. Besides me, another person. It's a person who will always agree with you, Mark. And that is the one and only Patty Johnson.
Sloppy parlay. Feels so good, so great when Zinno. It's a good day. He's never late.
I know that there's some people who might disagree about Zinno never being late, but that's a different story for a different day.
I was a little late to the start of the show this morning. I had held up the entire Morning Wager crew here this morning. That's all.
Well, that's okay. We still love you. Not sure if Patty wants a piece of me or not, but I want a piece of the Washington Nationals on Monday against the St. Louis Cardinals. This is a day game. Yes, there are a couple of day games on today's slate. Zinno, I don't like the Cardinals. I'm just going to come out and say that. I don't understand how a team with the 3rd worst run differential in the National League can be 5 games over 500. Full disclosure, they got me yesterday, but Monday we get to fade Miles Mikolas, who has a 5.19 ERA on the season. Remember how he strangely had not had a single over cash on the road despite his terrible ERA? Well, that streak ended last time out. I bet the over in that game against the Pirates and cashed. Now, you look at the Nationals side, this is a team that's been really competitive over the last week and deserves far better than a 3-4 record the last 7 games. Check this. 3 of those 4 losses, the Nats blew a multi-run lead and lost in extra innings. Yesterday was the exception. Mitchell Parker started today. I know he did struggle his last time out, but that was only the second time in 10 starts he allowed more than 3 earned runs. This is likely to be the third straight game where the Nats close as the favorite over the Cardinals. I'll ride with them. So Nationals money line, Twins team total over is your double play. Zinno, dare I say that, does that qualify as a sloppy parlay, perhaps? I don't know.
Sloppy parlay. Feels so good, so great when Zinno, it's a good day. He's never late.
Well, Zinno
right.
it is a good day. It's always a good day with me. Me and the guy from Mary Poppins. It's a jolly holiday every day.
Well, comment down below if you think it's a good day all the time hanging out with Mark Zinno. I would agree that it is. I do it every Monday through Friday here on WagerTalk TV. Also, let us know your favorite bets for Monday's slate. Our best bet is coming up in just a minute, but do want to let you know about a special offer going on right now at WagerTalk.com, because $7 a day just got even bigger. If you loved that weekly special that we were offering, where it was just $49 to get on board for 7 days, well, that offer's been extended to a 30-day all-access package. Normally priced at $299, you can now get a 30% discount on a 30-day all-access package from your favorite WagerTalk handicapper. Only $210 to get on board with Mark for the next 30 days, with me for your next 30 days, with both of us for the next 30 days. You can get $210 a piece. Great deal as we're seeing it. Well, Mark, tell them what you got cooking on Monday.
Quick. Here's the thing, guys. Just remember what time of year we're at and why this deal makes a whole lot of sense. Just because we're going to get the All-Star break. We're going to have no sports for 4 days. So take advantage of all the guys out there who are playing soccer like Bryan Power, and doing all the other sports, whether it's lacrosse, WNBA. I mean, it's a great time if you guys want to start to dip a toe into some of those other sports and start betting there. This is a great time to do it when you get that 30-day all-access pass. So I encourage you. Plus, when you get me, you get Patty Johnson, and that's always a double burger that you want. So there is that. I could not help but give it a nod to Patty.
Sloppy parlay. Yes.
Sloppy parlay,
yes,
yeah. And we will, I tell you what, I mean, there will be another Patty Johnson 5% nuke coming up before the end of July. I mean, we owe it to the people to give them another 5% Patty Johnson nuke.
I agree. You mentioned soccer. I'll mention I'm on a 32-12 run on the pitch. It was 2-0 over the weekend, hit our 4%. That's in Copa America.
Stop with pitch,
What?
Okay? We know what you mean when you say field. No, it's a jersey, it's a field, it's a game. Stop. Just stop.
It's a fixture.
You don't need to be all fancy about it. No one.
It's a fixture.
No, it's not. It's not a match. It's a game. Matches are for tennis and to light fires.
I think you and I are a great match here on the Morning Wager, Mark Zinno. Even better than maybe you and Patty. But let's get into our best bet, because that is what the people want to hear. The Detroit Tigers just swept the Cincinnati Reds. It was their first sweep of any team since the White Sox to start the year. Their very first series of the year when they started the season 3-0. So is this a good time to step in and fade the Tigers, who are returning home after a 10-game road trip? They are hosting my Cleveland Guardians on Monday.
Yeah, I mean, I want to do it. I know this isn't a starting matchup that really sets anybody on fire here. Gavin Williams, making his second start since coming off the IL, got banged around in his first start, only lasted 4 innings. You look at his ERA at 11 and his whip over 2. It's hard to get a real sample size, but Williams was a consistent starter last year for the Guardians, going up against Kiter Montero. He's made 3 starts. He's 1-2. He lost both those starts at home, where he got banged around a lot more. The Tigers are a team actually that gives up more runs at home than they score. They give up almost 4.6 runs at home, but only score 4.1. It's always fun for me to fade the Tigers offense going up against the Guardians offense that is as good as any offense in Major League Baseball right now. We know how good they are, and them averaging close to 5 runs a game. They can score anywhere. So this is a team that I really, really trust. And oh, by the way, on the road this year, they averaged 4.8 runs per game and only allow 3.8. So they're a full run better away from Progressive Field. And this is a spot here where you just don't see the Guardians at this number all this much, BP. I mean, that's really kind of the part to me that's, from a pricing standpoint, that's really enticing. I mean, you shop around, but they're in the mid 130s here. And I'm just doing a quick search. when you look at them as a favorite to mid 130 here, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 losses as a minus 135 favorite or lower compared to 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 and 7 when you talk about them as a favorite of 135 or less. So, this is a price range that they've excelled in. And that usually means that, we're looking at this team as a little bit undervalued still, the way they're being priced in the marketplace. Let's take advantage of it here and go with the Guardians on the money line against Detroit.
They've been one of the most profitable teams in all of baseball in 2024. It's them and the Orioles are top two. Of course, when you bet the Guardians, you always have the bullpen edge as well. Can't forget about that. No bullpen in Major League Baseball is better. All right, Cleveland Guardians, your show best bet. Hit the thumbs up if you agree with it. Comment if you disagree with it, or if you just want to say how smart we are, we'll take that comment too. And of course, if you haven't already subscribed to the WagerTalk YouTube channel, what are you waiting for? It's very easy. You just click subscribe, and then you won't miss any of our exclusive sports betting content. Like Mark said, it might be July, but we've got you covered in a swath of sports. CFL, soccer, WNBA, Major League Baseball, you name it, we've got you covered here on Wager Talk TV. And you will be seeing me later on First Pitch to talk more baseball with our great friend Drew Martin. That's always a good time. But I think that does it for the Morning Wager here on Monday. Until next time, let's catch the tickets.